Hey folks, how you doing? Getting my morning caffeine going, and this is my first playing of the day as well. Double green tea. Signal going on here. Alright, we should be alright now. Savak, how you doing? Michael Anthony. Sebastian. Could you cover the Lydian scale? Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely do that. Imboshi Land, nice to see you. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely been very popular on my platforms the last few weeks. But it's such a incredible sound, right? can do actually is I'll simplify this chord progression, and I'll use a Lydian scale over that. So I'll do it over the main kind of theme. So. Right? So, in terms of the Lydian scale that I could use over this, so essentially, I'm going to be playing a G flat Lydian scale. So this note right here, this C natural, so the C natural, that's the sound right there in terms of using Lydian for this. And another thing to consider as well, and I've had some conversations about this with some people, is that so if we look at Lydian being the fourth mode of the major scale, right? If we then also look at the mode before that, which is going to be Phrygian, right? There are some people who say that, and I tend to agree on this, that it's essentially, I mean, yes, you're playing all the same notes, just in a different order, but when it comes to Phrygian, in terms of how we play it on the bass, or maybe on the guitar, or whatever instrument, but definitely in this case of the bass, in terms of the way that the fingering for it. So if I was to play an F Phrygian, it's really just one note away, or it's just the same thing, the same type of fingering that you would use for playing G flat Phrygian. And the reason is because if I've got this shape right here, right, where if I'm going by the 1 finger per fret rule, it's the same thing that I would use for playing just a Lydian. So I got G flat Lydian there, and I got F Phrygian. And obviously, the starting and ending notes are literally just a half step away from each one, right? So F Phrygian, G flat Lydian, right? So that's the thing. You have those two right there at your disposal. Phrygian and G flat Lydian, which really, I mean, it's the same thing. And it's also a really good sound if you want to really step more into Lydian as well. Again, it's the same notes, you're just in a different place, right? Now the other thing is that, you know, if I wanted to, so again, I'm playing G flat Lydian, which again is the fourth mode of the major scale, right? What if I want to play Dorian, right? We could do, again, same notes as what I played, right? Just in a different order, different starting point, different ending point. So if I want to play a Dorian, I'll go from the second mode of the major scale, which is going to be, in this case, Dorian. And since technically I'm in the key of D flat major, I'm going to play an E flat Dorian. So playing a Dorian scale, it's got that raised sixth, right? You can hear the sound. It still incorporates the elements of what we were doing in G flat Lydian and F Lydian, right? Now, what if I was to actually play on the actual home key, which is going to be D flat major 7, which is going to be Ionian. So this is what it is, you know, when you're using like diatonic harmony and just using modes like this. What about something like Mixolydian scale, which is going to be the fifth mode, right? So So going between E flat Dorian and A flat Mixolydian, again, it's all the same sound. It really is. So it's really up to you how you wanna start it. But for me, the strongest tone that stands out is this note right here. And so this is the other thing too, that is, it almost sounds like you know, that note doesn't really need to necessarily be in there, is this one here. it's too much of a tension. It wants to go there. And that's the G flat. Even though the first chord of my chord progression is a G flat major 7. But when you play it in the harmony, it's very clashy because I've already got a major 7 in there. So when I'm improvising, that's going to be a note that I'm going to kind of stay away from, actually. So even though I could play G flat Lydian, I'm going to tend to stay more in the vein of something like F Phrygian or like E flat Dorian, right? You know, you get the lick in there. I can even be cheeky, and if I want to put the Lydian somewhere else, even though it's going to be a non-chord tone, I can turn the D flat major 7 into a into a Lydian. Now, why is it cheeky? Well, because that first chord is a G flat major 7, right? There's no G in there. But if you're using it in passing and trying to add some kind of extra color, and also when you play, because it does go to an E flat minor, so obviously there's no G in an E flat minor, right? Right? But it doesn't sound too bad against if you were to play that note right there, which for me doesn't really do it. Even though this is a proper chord tone amongst everything that we're playing, but there's just something about that just doesn't sit right. Theoretically, it's correct, but when you hear it, it's like not so much, right? Anyway, so that's something where, yes, using Lydian, but also using Lydian in the context of the other modes around you as well. There's this, there was a really great book written by a great composer, musicologist named George Russell, called the Lydian chromatic concept, where essentially, he looks at utilizing the Lydian as the center of all the modes. Everything revolves around that, instead of Ionian being the first mode. It's a really interesting book, really cool. And there are a lot of musicians who really go off of that concept. there are also a lot of people who are like, not so much. For me, I mean, I'm kind of a bit of both. You know, I understand, like, yeah, there's going to be the theoretical side of things, but also there's going to be that doesn't mean that it's going to sound good. And I'm always about what it's going to sound like, right? At the end of the day, because, I mean, it's music, you know, you're listening to it. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Nice to see you here. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to kind of just get right off the bat, get going into some more Lydian stuff, which again has been very popular on my platforms in the last few weeks, which is cool. I'm absolutely always keen and excited to talk about something like this, especially because Lydian is something that I use a lot in my playing, in my sound and all that, and it's just such a beautiful and universal sound. So I want to welcome you to the live stream, and wherever you're from, where in the world, thank you for being here. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe here to my channel, as well as down in the description box, all my links to my bass resources, so make sure you check those out. But if you have any questions about anything to do with playing bass, whether it's gear, techniques, concepts, any kind of bass playing approach or anything, pop it down in the chat, and I'll do my best to try and address your question. But, you know, usually how it is, the nerdier the questions, the better. That's how it is. And so, like I said, I'm just having my green tea, getting myself going here. It's the morning where I am, and just doing my first playing of the day, you know. So getting going here on my beautiful Ibanez Grooveline 6-string bass, G106. So yeah, who we got in the chat here? Jabru's asking, do you know how to play My Dixie Wreck today? I do not. I don't know who that is by, so sorry. Gil, nice to see you. Raphael, nice to see you as well. That's right, we are live. Finn, who cares? Just got my SRA7. Cool. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it sounds exciting. Maybe a 7-string bass of some kind, I'm thinking. So that's cool. Gil's asking, I kind of understand the mode and not really understand at the same time. Using it freely is very tricky. Yeah, look, it took me a while to understand how to really get into it as well. And it's also something that I avoided for the longest time as well, right? But again, if in this context, if I'm just playing, and maybe I need to just change the key just to kind of make it a little more simplified, which I can absolutely do. So maybe let's do this. Let's just do it in C major. All right. Let's just do good old C major, and let's use that diatonically. Give you some sort of diatonic kind of sound. So I'm in the key of C major, right? Where we would play pretty much C Ionian. Which is the first mode of the major scale, right? And I'm just playing it in different permutations, right? Just C major, right? Now what if I wanted to go to the next mode, which is going to be D Dorian? What would it be like if I started there? Well, again, we're shifting our start point. We're using the same notes here. Also, just real quick, I just want to ask you guys, can you just let me know in the chat, is the bass signal distorting at any point? I just want to make sure it's not doing that. I always want to make sure it's good because I'm just noticing that I'm just kind of clipping a little bit on my interface here. But so just let me know if the sound is okay. Like. All right, cool. But yeah, just let me know if it does start to kind of distort or whatever. But anyway, going back, so that's just C Ionian. I'm just playing the notes in there. All right, so obviously my start and my end point is C, right? Now if we go to D Dorian, I'm gonna play all the same notes I just played, but now my start and end point have now shifted, right, to the second mode. All right, voice is a bit low, yeah. Could probably, how's that? Is that better? Probably doesn't help when I go like this, right? Obviously this is a vocal microphone right here, very directional. So now if I was to start on D Dorian, right? And so you can hear that, okay, the sound from is still there, but in terms of what is being emphasized is this nice like second or ninth, right? And with Dorian being a minor scale, but with this raised sixth, right? Right. So I got 1, 2, minor 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a raised sixth, minor 7, and 1, right? So then the next mode, E Phrygian, right? Which is also a minor scale, right? But we're gonna have this this flat 2 in here, right? So it's gonna be 1, flat 2, minor 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to be a flat 6, minor 7, and 1. And again, still the same notes that we've been using, shifting the starting and end point. That's what we do each time when we go between the different modes. And in relation to, like, you might be thinking, well, why can't I just play like C major? Well, I mean, technically you are, but what we're doing is we're accessing different ways to grab different melody notes and to phrase things differently when we are playing the respective scales and modes using the type of fingering that you would use for each one, because that gives you different pathways, different branches to be able to go off into different places. And especially it's a great way of of not always just, when you're playing over a chord, not just starting it on the root of what the chord is. So if I'm playing C major 7 here, I'm not just going to play, right? I can also sounds easy, right? I mean, that's the thing, is that it has to be like that, right? And that's just how it is. It shouldn't have to be like too crazy. So we did E Phrygian, right? Which is a really nice one because, I mean, like I was explaining earlier, then it like ties in to like Lydian. So now I'm going to play F Lydian. But this is the thing. There's something about playing this F, even though technically it is a chord tone, it just doesn't sound right when it's really emphasized. It's too much tension. It needs to have a resolution. It wants to go there. So even when you play like F, any of the modes that have the F in there, you don't want to just be hanging on it. It's more of like a passing sound, right? Even when you're playing like G Mixolydian, which is the fifth mode, so that's the thing. So in terms of like, and so forth, going off the, off the rest of the modes, you get into, I went to Aeolian there, then go into Locrian. So the thing that you have to do when you have to allow yourself when playing through these to be creative with it. You know what I mean? You got to allow yourself to do that. That's the thing. And you can't be like, okay, yeah, all right. If you're trying this for the first time, you can't just expect perfection right away, right? And you gotta just simplify it. Even if you have to spend some time just on like one mode or 2 modes a day or per practice session that you do, that's the thing, you know? And you're gonna find the notes that really jump out and really speak strongly. So for me, in this case, in the case of C major, the notes that speak out strongly are the 7th, 6th, the 5th, the 3rd, the 9th. And then from there, coming up with melodies, you know, tell a story, right? It's music. You might think, oh, you know, it's the modes, it's, you know, theory and all that. But really, it's theory. But at the end of the day, you're coming up with music, right? Now, what if I wanted to be cheeky and make that C major a Lydian, right? I can do something like that, and it just adds, again, another kind of color to it, right? Gil's asking, what are your thoughts exactly? For example, when you play Phrygian, are you thinking of the sound of the flat 2 or the sound of the 3 or the sound of the 4? When I'm playing Phrygian, I'm thinking, so in this case, Phrygian being E Phrygian in C major, I'm thinking of the sound of the 5th of the in the Phrygian, which is going to be this B natural. In C major, that's going to be the major 7, right? Here's a Killer Phrygian. Yes, it is interesting spelling, right? With a PH and a R, right? But that's what I'm thinking. So for me, I'm revolving a lot around this note here, this B natural. And so what am I doing here? What was I just playing there? That sounds very complicated in terms of what that is. I mean, again, this is still the same notes that I've been playing this whole time. It's just being put in a different order, different permutations, different little phrases that I'm taking from it. But I'll show you what I was doing. So starting on this B natural, this major 7, so I'm going B, A, B, E. Now for those of you who don't have 6-string basses or a bass with high C, you can do it up here Although some of you might be playing on basses that don't have this high note, so you can play it down here. Just do it down an octave. So I'm playing B, A, B, E, B, A, B. A really nice kind of phrase. And then I took the whole thing and just moved it down a whole step. And that's still the same notes that work in, it's still diatonic. So I'm just taking this little theme, this little idea, and doing a variation with it. And then I took it, I'm in the same position, I took the whole thing down a fourth. And then I took it down. So that's the thing, is that if you find a phrase like this, you can see, okay, how does it work diatonically? And then I'm back to the same thing, but an octave below. And because we love to play fourths on the bass, we can access a lot of fourths just in this. So again, that's just all diatonic, what I was just doing there. Really fun, but also it's just, how can you take something as simple as that, something that we pretty much learn, if you look at something as basic as like a Ionian scale, how do we take something like that and get more out of it? That was something that I started doing, like, I mean, probably at least 10 years ago, because during jazz school and all that, you know, doing a lot of transcribing and trying to figure out, you know, very advanced kind of harmonic jazz phrasing and language and all that, which is, yeah, I mean, it's part of it. It's a huge part of the development. But also, it occurred to me, I'm just like, well, how can I also just take something that is really basic and get more from it? Because obviously it's not just there for just beginners. How can you take, it's part of music. It's not like a level necessarily. It's what can you say with it? And so that was the thing. Listening to a lot of my, you know, favorite musicians, they were doing the same thing essentially. And they would combine that with playing outside of the box, using stuff from the melodic minor mode as well. So that was the thing that I figured. It was like, well, let me go back to basics. Let me get that sounding good. Because I was having a hard time trying to tell a story in my solos. It was too choppy. It was too, like, you know, fragmented in terms of the things that I was trying to say. And I was too in my head. And it was frustrating, and it was hard listening back to what I was playing, like looking at videos or listening to recordings and going, oh man, it's like terrible solos I played or whatever. But how can I You know, how can I do something really easy but still make it sound good? So that's how that worked out for me. So I hope that's helpful for those of you who are who might be feeling stuck on modes or anything like that, trying to get more into how do you utilize it in what you play. How do you go from learning the information to actually turning it into music? And that is one of the ways that you can do that. All right. But yeah, I hope that's working out. And caffeine has been settling in, and bass playing has also just kind of been warming up, which has been nice. Raphael's asking, how do you work on rhythm? Exercises with a metronome? Yeah, that's a good one. So with rhythm, and actually maybe I'll just go back to this. And then I will put on like a metronome or some sort of click, right? So the basis of it all, and I've talked about this before, so what I've been doing this whole time when I've been improvising is kind of been floating more so. And the reason why that works is because of the type of harmony that I'm playing here, and the rhythm, the backing accompaniment does have a pulse to it, right? This finger picking kind of thing, right? Like a kind of slow jam-ish. So that allows me to kind of be more vocal-like in terms of my phrasing. That way, like, so when playing, I'm not playing anything that is in time. I'm letting the accompaniment behind me guide me. And because it's all diatonic, it doesn't matter where I land. Obviously, I want to land on the notes that are within this diatonic sequence in the key of, C major. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I land, because I'm gonna be safe, right? But in terms of, like, if I was to play something that had more of a pulse in it, but how do you get into that, right? How do you do that? Well, you gotta have a good feeling quarter note, right? You gotta have a good feeling pulse, right? So even if you do something like that, where you just play quarter notes and then start adding in some pickup notes, right? Just something like that, to where ba-do, da-do, ba-bo, ba-bo, ba-ba. And that's the thing, is you want to also have some good pickup notes. That way, and this is something that can really help with, you know, your pocket as well, just your sense of, okay, where is the beat, right? And then also playing it without the downbeat as well. Can you do that without rushing? Can you do that without dragging? That's the thing. That's a challenging one too. Just playing on the off beats. Ba, 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 ba. I mean, they're kind of a little later on. They're more like on the 16th. If it was off beats, it's gonna be which also, you know, you want to be able to get that solid as well. Right? Almost sounds like reggae. Now, what if you did it more closer together, where you're doing like offbeat 16th notes? That's a difficult one as well, because it requires you, yes, to have the pulse, but you want to be listening to what is going on behind you as well. So it requires you doing multiple things at once. You want to be able to make sure that you don't get off as well from the, you know, what is accompanying you. And so that's a nice challenge. And then mixing it up with, okay, putting stuff on the downbeat. So you're doing this kind of displacement thing. And so now you start to get into this kind of playing over the bar kind of rhythm, right? You tend to get that kind of thing going on, which is really cool. Stuff like, you know, hemiolas, where you're playing like this over the bar kind of polyrhythm. Sounds like I'm playing with like a delay pedal, but no, I'm just playing over. Get into playing faster phrases where I'm playing more 16th notes, then that's the whole thing there where now I'm going, playing outside the box. And so those are some things that, in terms of like working on rhythm, is like sometimes you just really got to strip the subdivisions down and place them in different parts, right? Have something that's consistent behind you, and whether that's a metronome, a drum loop, or even just like a nice chordal accompaniment. And I love using a chordal accompaniment where there's a good strong pulse to it. Something like that is a finger picking pattern like this, because that is something where that's something that's going to be closer to this kind of like musical situation that I'm going to be playing in, right? That, or with like a drum loop, right? And it gives you a chance to, yes, play to try these different subdivisions, what it sounds like when you place them in different parts of the beat. But it also gives you a chance to really listen and hold yourself accountable of where things are going to land, right? And for me, this is something, as I've done this over time, this is something that has helped me also be able to play in this more freer kind of floaty time as well, to make things that have a pulse, make it sound like that I am playing with no time at all, right? That's the really cool thing about it. That's something that I love to do. And so I hope that's helpful. Any more questions like this, please pop it down in the chat. These are things that I love talking about. I work with my students a lot on these kinds of concepts, where we really just go down the rabbit hole. And this is something where, so like, for example, in my program, if they're working with me on any specific concepts that are like this, and something that we've done in our session, then they'll go away and work on it, and whatever their shedding, they'll send me like videos or audio recordings of them like working on it. Hey Ben, how's this sound? Tell me what you think of this. And I give them feedback, and this is on a weekly basis as well. That way they have someone telling them, what they can keep improving on, or what is working out. And also I get to understand from them, how does that feel for them? How is that working out? Have you noticed any differences in how you apply something like this into your bass playing and when you play it in a band setting or something? So if that's something that you might want to also consider, you want to have the weekly accountability, have someone mentoring you, also giving you pep talks and keeping track of your bass playing, you can check out the links down below, especially the link down there if you want to join my bass coaching and mentoring program. It's one-on-one where we work together, but we work on any kind of thing that you are trying to figure out in your bass playing, whether you're a beginner or advanced. And how's everyone doing? Shiner Does Stuff is asking what kind of sound, this is not a sound gear, what kind of Ibanez is this? This is a Grooveline G106, quite the unicorn indeed. I have a video here on my YouTube channel talking about these basses, the Groovelines, very short-lived instruments by Ibanez that came out about 15 or so years ago. One of the best models that they ever produced. Sadly, not many people were really into it when it came out, but now it's been a thing where people have, when they find a Grooveline, they've been getting it and they're going, oh my god, this is incredible, this is one of the greatest instruments. Actually, quite a few of my students have Groovelines, which is really cool. And every other day I get messages from people who have either who found a Grooveline on Reverb or eBay or somewhere, or they've been able to buy one, mainly a 5-string. The 6 strings are very rare, so yeah. Jeffrey Boyle, nice to see you. How you doing? Carlos, how you doing? Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Lorene is asking, you played Smoke on the Water. I haven't had that request in a long time, right? Usually it would be like every other live stream, almost every live stream, there would always be someone who would be asking for that. But I could do it over this. Putting it into the context of something like that. Oh man, sometimes I just have too much fun on here. Putting it into the key of C major. So where did I start that? So obviously this is a melody that essentially does, and then they go to like a flat, and I can use that as a passing tone for what I'm doing here. But in this context, I'm starting on the E, which in the context of C major, that's going to be the major third. So I'm going to go E, G, A. So essentially I'm going 3, 5, 6. 3, 5, 6, flat 6. Or you could look at it as maybe I'm putting in a dominant 7 in there, because it's rock and roll. So that's how that would work, right there. Oh man. Hey folks, hope you're doing well. We've already been talking about, Phrygian and using the modes and all that, which has been really cool. Already gotten to a lot of stuff. As well as talking about different rhythmic concepts as well. How I like to use rhythm. Now, in terms of something with a metronome, this is something I like to do in terms of manipulating the metronome. So I'm gonna just put on a cheesy click here. This is probably as slow as this metronome goes. I was trying to get it to go 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm doing 2 and 4 with this, right? Instead of quarter notes. This is a really good one to do because you want to feel it as a backbeat. And not just rely on every single quarter note. You want to make sure that you can still keep a good pulse with something that is on 2 and 4. So the most basic one that I'm doing right here is literally, I'm just playing quarter notes. But I'm just playing quarter notes on 1 and 3. And the goal is, I want to make sure that it's going to sound consistent with what I'm playing to. So think of it like a drummer. You're the bass drum. The 2 and 4 is the snare, right? As basic as that is, it's still a really good one because, again, it forces you to listen. It forces you to really develop a internal clock to lock in with what is happening here. All right. Now, I know there are some people who have opinions about metronomes and all that, and look, that's totally fine. I'm definitely someone who is into using a metronome because it is a tool. Is it going to, but with you working on using a metronome, are you going to suddenly have a better groove? It's not guaranteed, but it will create more awareness on what you need to do in order to have a better time feel. Because at the end of the day, when you play along with someone, so like a drummer, even a drummer who has excellent time feel, an excellent clock, an excellent sense of rhythm, there's always going to be that natural tendency of the push and the pull. Things slightly speed up, but they're not going to necessarily be that noticeable, right? As opposed to when playing along to a computer where it's going to be absolutely just a straight line, right? So this is the purpose of this, is to give you an awareness of how to have a solid awareness of keeping things consistent. Developing consistency. That's the really important part in this. That's the thing. How to just keep things moving. And at first, you know, as you're developing this, you might find that you're playing ahead of the time. You might find that you're playing behind. And that's okay. That's going to happen at first. We all do that. Sometimes, in order to just lock in, you just need to just listen to it first. Just sit there. And you need to feel it internally first. Yes, 2 and 4. 1, 2. But you need to start listening and hearing in your head the other rhythms that might be behind it. So maybe it might be something. Any of these like little subdivisions that line up when you hear these beats happening. And one of the big important things that's going to help you is the length of the note. And this is really good to try with short notes, which is what I've been doing here. And yes, it's, you know, reminiscent of something like James Jamerson. I was playing like a Motown thing here. But what if I want to go in the opposite direction and play like a Jaco thing, right? Right? And this is a really good one to practice your ghost notes too. Exactly, Michael. So this is a really good one. And yeah, Kevin, so that's the thing. And I'm glad you pointed that out, because this is the next thing I was going to get to. So obviously, two different styles of playing, even though, you know, yes, Jaco was heavily influenced by Jamerson and also that era of music. That's what he grew up listening to. But just in terms of like the approach of it, there's two different things. So when I was playing the Jamerson thing, that inspired kind of feel, yes, I was playing just a touch behind. So it made it sound like that the metronome was a little ahead. But the metronome hasn't been touched. The metronome is staying the same, right? That's the thing. And I don't know if it's you know, when Jameson would play, did the hook, right? Just one finger. And that was the thing that, you know, when you play, you know, when you're playing Motown, when you're playing 60s soul, the bass definitely has this kind of playing slightly behind the beat kind of feel. But then later on, the 70s, people started to play a little more on top. And so with Jaco, which, you know, utilizing ghost notes and all that, there's more notes happening. Even though, yes, and Jameson's playing, there's also ghost notes. But Jaco's thing's definitely some more defined ghost notes. Right? And it might be because, yes, there's more 16th notes happening, so that requires it to be more on a consistent level. So it's going to sound like, okay, yeah, playing on top. And even when, in order to technically do that and physically do that, there would be this natural tendency to kind of rush, because some of these things are not easy to play, you know? So that's the thing, is that when you're playing stylistically, you kind of manipulate where the sound of the metronome, even though it's starting in the same place. Rocco Prestia, and another one as well, you know? He's also someone that it would be right in there, you know? Now, if we're playing something that's going to have a little more swing to it, what we're going to do is delay that eighth note, so where it's not going to be like da 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 da. It's going to be like that. So essentially, it's going to sound like a dotted eighth note tied to a 16th note, right? Da 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 da. You know. We can also treat it as a triplet as well. where we can take, the grouping of the triplet 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, take out the middle, so it's just going to be boom bam 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 boom. That's what it's going to be. Was that gold frap? The heaven monkey don't tell. Then you want to get into like a shuffle and all that. So these are really good things that you can just do just with 2 and 4 with a metronome, is going between different, like stylistically, going between so many different feels. You can get the metronome just on 2 and 4 to feel different, even though like I haven't changed anything. It's my playing, the way that I'm phrasing things. That really is where the music is going to come from. I'm just using the metronome as a tool, as a guide for something to play along to, and to help solidify where I'm putting the feel, right? And if you want to go between swing and like something that's real straight, that's also a really good one as well. Straight. Swing. Straight. You can do things like this, which is a lot of fun, and something that you can just work on like for hours, right? Just simple concepts like this. People, a lot of my students ask me, and also just people over the years ask me, what do you work on? What can you work on and all that, and sure, there's always this overwhelming, I'm going to turn off this hi-hat now. There's always this overwhelming, like just, there's resources everywhere of everything that you could work on, and it's a whole thing of like, I don't know where to start. I don't know, and sure, I get that. I've felt like that. Sometimes I still feel like that as well. There's nothing wrong with just going back to just something simple like that. And I mean, even just the other day, I did exactly just this. I just put on a click and just played like that. A few reasons why I did that was, okay, maybe just to kind of brush up on a few things, and try some new things out as well. And also because it is a very grounding kind of exercise as well. It really brings you back. Yeah, exactly. Fundamentals. Fundamentals are still some of the greatest things, even as a professional musician, that you can still be doing to this day. There's nothing wrong with going back and revisiting fundamentals, because it can help put a lot of things that more advanced stuff that you've been doing into perspective. And the things that you've been working on currently, when you go back to fundamentals, it can help solidify those things and help you understand them even more deeply as well. And that's a really cool thing. Because at the end of the day, when we're playing music, we're not always trying to play stuff that is very complicated. That is something that you can do in music, but it's not the only way of playing music. And to be a great musician doesn't mean that you always and only play complicated stuff. Sometimes playing really basic, like meat and potatoes kind of stuff can be difficult. It really can. I've been there myself. Like when people have sent me some tracks to record, something that is just like really just sure, that might be so easy to play, but can you make it feel good and consistent, right? And I remember this was a few years ago when someone sent me that kind of track, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could just like knock this out in like 20 minutes. 2 hours later, I'm still working on it because I'm trying to really just make sure I'm that it's feeling good, you know? And I didn't mind it. I wasn't getting frustrated with it. I was more so just like, every time, when I listened to the first pass, I was like, oh, kind of rushing there. Oh, a little behind there. Okay, let me just figure out. So something like that. We sometimes take the fundamentals and the basic stuff for granted. And we think that we only need to be working on complexity, right? But we need to be looking at the bigger picture of things. We really do. So yeah. Bop your head to this. Yeah, man, that's the thing. If you bop your head and it feels good, mission accomplished. You know, you get other people doing that, mission accomplished. At least that's what I think. Raphael's asking, can you play giant steps in 7/4? Oh God, no, now you done it. Let's see. I haven't done that in a while, so this might be good to actually kind of revisit. Now, I'm not going to do it at a burning tempo because, first of all, I'm just going to look silly. When I was a little younger, sure, I would have been able to do it because it was something that I was actively practicing. But also, I love playing giant steps slower because it is nice harmony. It's difficult, yeah, sure, but I feel like you can get more melodies when when you're playing it at a slower tempo. And some might say, "Oh, well, you're not doing it properly." But I mean, why does that have to be a competition? Isn't the point just to play music? Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Giant steps in 7/4. All right, let's go. So, let's see. Okay, so I just had to think for a second because I've played this one in 5 a lot, and I've also played it in 13 quite a lot too, believe it or not. So I just had to, for a second, just had to reset. Okay, so. Right? So how would I think of it in 7 instead of thinking like, okay, I have to count all the way up to 7? Well, if we just think of it, okay, 4 and 3. Okay, so where do I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not doing that either. So obviously we know what 4/4 sounds like naturally, to where we don't have to count that, right? I'll just pause that for a second. When we play 4/4, it's even, right? We can feel it. We don't need to count. What I was playing before, with the little click being on 2 and 4, we've got a backbeat. So I can do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But obviously this is going to be because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 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 ba. That's where my quarter note is going to be. You could also look at it as, maybe 7, 8 as well if you wanted to. But I'm still going to think of a backbeat. So where the ba on a snare would be, that's where my backbeat is. So in this case, for the 4/4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where it's going to be on the 4 side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what about on the measure of 3, right? How do we do this? Well, a really good way when we get to 3 is to, when I think of, on the 3 side of things, on an odd meter, I like to think of dotted quarter notes. So say if we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bound, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, So I'm doing 3 right here, then I'm clicking 3 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to be singing dotted quarters. Da, da, da. Right? The dotted quarters, they split the measure of 3 in half, right? Into 2 halves. Ba, 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 ba. So, if I have this as my quarters, and I'm doing it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to clap it because that's hard to snap that, keep that going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can hear when I get to the 3 side, I'm doing the dotted quarter notes, right? So I'm thinking like a drummer. And so that's what I've got going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, this one again, it's been a minute. But in terms of playing the phrasing, I'll think more elongated phrases instead of playing trying to adhere to just the 4 and 3, because the phrases need to be longer. Figure that out too. So this will be a good one for me to kind of get back into shedding, especially in 7/4. But that's how I approach, playing it. And you can take any jazz standard. This is the thing about jazz standards, is that you can take them and you can put them into any kind of interpretation, different time signatures, different feels and all that, which is always really cool. I absolutely love doing it. And again, as a jazz musician, there are always going to be fundamental tunes that I learned when starting to play jazz, that I'll still come back to and try concepts on and work things on. I'll still play Autumn Leaves. I'll still play Blue Bossa. I'll still play All the Things You Are. I'll still play, obviously, a blues. Things like that. Bye Bye Blackbird. Alone Together. Stella by Starlight. I'll still revisit these tunes. Because they are great vehicles for trying out certain things, trying out concepts, and especially if they're tunes that you know like the back of your hand. That's something where you want to utilize that kind of thing so that it can help you understand on other tunes, right? So that's why I love it. And I just, as overplayed and just common as those tunes are, I still love playing those tunes, especially when you have really great musicians playing it and things that just feel good and everyone is just absolutely cooking on it. Like, man, I'll play the heck out of like Stella by Starlight or Autumn Leaves, with some cats that were just absolutely burning. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's about the music that you create from it. It's the conversations that you have. It's the things that you try out. It's, even the risks that you take on something like that. That's why I love playing it, right? So there's nothing wrong with fundamentals, coming back to your roots, coming back to the basics as well, revisiting that to help you understand things that, even complicated things that you're trying to figure out. It's always a great thing. And there's always going to be aha moments when you do so. Can I play something by Rammstein? I cannot. I don't know any Rammstein. I go from Giant Steps at 7/4 to Rammstein. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, that's always really fun, just doing that. But I'll play along to. I'll play some music though. Let's see. Let's see. What have I got here? By the way, thank you so much, everyone, for just, hanging out. We've really gone into some real cool, nerdy, concepts here with just what we've been talking about the modes, talking about rhythm concepts, talking about utilizing the metronome and how to manipulate the sound of the metronome, even though it's going to stay there, but how we can adjust our feel and using it stylistically, as well as looking at playing in 7/4, especially giant steps. And yeah, Raphael, I can absolutely play the chords again. I can do it slowly for sure. So I'm just doing real basic kind of shell voicings, right? But, you know, if I wanted to add more color, I can do so. And for some of those like 2/5s, I'm doing like a sus chord as well. So what I did, you know, so when I went, you know, to 2/5 to B major, and instead of going 2/5 to E flat major, I just went B flat sus to E flat major. And then a thing that I learned, and I actually got this from Charlie Hayden. I was one of his last students. We're talking about, I mean, this is like 16 years ago now. Yeah, around at least 16, 15 years ago. Especially on the bridge, because I asked him, I'm just like, how would you play over giant steps, Charlie? I've never heard you play giant steps. And he's like, man, give me that bass. Which is all that was just, it's so Charlie. Because obviously, you know, he was in New York when he was around actively playing when that was happening, right? But especially the last part here, when it goes through all the 2/5s, you know, so obviously the first part going, so this part here. So obviously this chord would be an E flat major 7, but he played I heard this one part, he played a G in the bass, right? And then when it goes to a 2/5 to G, so he played, then he played an A in the bass. And then when it went to the G major, he played the B in the bass. And then the 2/5 to B major, he went to the C sharp. So when it went to B major, he played the E flat in the bass, and then 2/5 to E flat major. So that when it went to E flat major, he played a G in the bass. So essentially, he did this walk up that was just in half steps. Whole steps. So you know, so if you're playing, you know, G A B C sharp, right? And it was so hip, man. I was just like, what? And it just transformed that harmony. And I was like, how do you think to do it? And he's like, believe it or not, you know, he's like, I used to play this with Pat, you know, Pat Metheny, quite a lot when we'd play duos. He said, you know, we would play it as more of a slow, you know, kind of bossa kind of thing. So he said it would be more manageable. And I said, and you'd take a solo on it too? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And then he like played a solo on giant steps at a bossa, and it was, yeah, it's incredible. I mean, that's the thing. Charlie is, you know, was one of the greatest bassists, one of the greatest musicians ever, and also just the obviously he was known for the things that he did with Ornette and the stuff with like Keith Jarrett and also his own music, Quartet West, Liberation Music Orchestra. But in terms of like his foundation and his grounding of the stuff that he could play, because you got to remember, he was playing jazz in the 1950s in New York, and his roommate for a period of time was the great Scott LaFaro. So I mean, he was around all these incredible musicians, the people who have like, who are who laid the foundations of how we play this music. And so that's in that was in his blood, that was in his DNA of what he's playing. So, because he was also an incredible bebop player too, which blew my mind. So, but the thing is, he wouldn't be able to necessarily tell you, like, okay, use this or use that. Like, he would just play it. That's how he had really great ears, and it was just from listening and people showing him stuff. It was incredible, and he could speak so much. And when and I've been trying to find like recordings or videos of him playing Giant Steps of Pat or whatever, but I'm so absolutely I was so privileged to have been able to see it in that moment during a lesson with him. And that was, and in my lessons, he would, when you were studying with Charlie, he would usually tell you to bring a guitar player or a piano player into your lesson with you, so that you have someone to play with. And then also when he would get up and show you some things and play as well, he would have someone to play with as well, which was really cool. Sometimes the lesson would just be him just playing for you. And it was just ridiculous, just incredible. You're just like, wow. It's an absolute, when you get someone like that, like showing you stuff, it's quite an experience. It really was. And so thank you, Charlie. Robotarian, nice to see you. Please again, the bass part of Charlie. Sure. So one more time, the bass part of what Charlie. So when we get to the second half of the tune of Giant Steps, when it goes through all the 2/5 progressions as it modulates, right? So obviously we figured out, we play the first part as boom, 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 right, as usual. Boom, da, ba, da, boom, boom, da, da, boom, ba, da, da. Oh wait. Da, da, ba, da, ba, da. See, I'm trying to. Da, ba, ba. No. See, I'm gonna do it again, because it's important to hear, how it sounds with the melody. So all I did was, starting on the when it starts on the E flat major, on the E flat major, I'm playing a G in the bass, so I'm playing on the major third, right? And from there, I go up in whole steps. Essentially, you just go up in whole steps until you get to G again. So it just goes on this cycle, right? It just goes on in a whole tone scale. And it's so hip, man. It was so hip. So it really is, especially you do it in a solo. It's so cool. It really is. let's play some music, and then we're almost done. So yeah, you want to listen to this Ibanez. I'm gonna play a tune with this Ibanez because this is a really great Ibanez. This is definitely, this is just one of this bass here is just something that has just been with me kind of just everywhere, and so it's definitely a big part of what I do. Trying to find something that I haven't done in a long time. So if you're new here, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And also down in the description box, the links to all my Bass with Benjamin resources. So courses, if you want to take a lesson with me, join my bass coaching and mentoring program, which is really cool. It's all one-on-one, so it's not a group thing. You get to work directly with me, whether it's on a weekly basis or something where we get together once a month, but we are in contact on a weekly basis. And you have someone to, keep track of your bass playing and give you weekly feedback as well. And this is something that I've just been absolutely fortunate enough to work with some incredible students throughout all over the world. Incredible bassists of different levels. I have some people who are playing on a professional level, who are regularly gigging and touring, and then I have a few students who are starting the bass from scratch, like total beginners, and it is just incredible to work with people just in their bass playing journey. And there's also a few students who are doing upright bass as well with me too, and also who are doing both electric and upright. They want to become proficient on both instruments, so that is something we can do as well. So yeah. All right, well, maybe I'll just loop some chords. How about that? All right, because I was trying to figure out what kind of tunes should I play, but I'm really enjoying just doing this, and it sounds like you guys want to just hear that. Should we do some sus4 chords? All right, sus4 chords. That's always good, isn't it? Let's see. Just loop some sus4s. That's gonna be nice because they're kind of difficult, Let's figure it out. Real kind of Robert Glasper kind of vibe. See if I remember that chord progression. But I'll use my ears. It's a nice chorus, but I'm trying to remember it. So what's up, Leslie Wells? Nah, pick your bass back up. Pick your bass back up. I appreciate it. What am I using for effects in the loop? So the looper is a what is it? It's a Boss RC30. I've had it for years. And in terms of the effects, so the reverb that you were hearing is a New Neighbor Immerse Reverberator Mark II. Really nice sound. Has like 9 different settings on it, different types of reverb, like plate, reverb's got room, hall, different kinds of more of an echo thing. It even has like a detuned kind of thing. So really nice pedal. I use it quite a lot. Just add some nice ambience in there. And then the envelope pedal that you were hearing. Yeah, so they're all stomp boxes. Yeah, individual pedals. I've kind of considered or thought about a multi-effects processor, just because obviously logistics-wise it would technically be easier. But over the years, you know, these pedals that I have here are things that I've accumulated as I've been discovering things and getting into, you know, my sounds. And so each of these are very particular, like the envelopes and the octave, even this reverb pedal. The reverb pedal, and also this vibrato pedal that I use, which is a TC Electronic shaker. I don't know if they make them anymore. I think they only make the mini versions now. But this is a original version, which is really cool. There's a dude named Charles Dingus. Oh man. You know, and then John X is like, surely putting pedals onto an actual board would make it easier logistics-wise too. Yeah, I mean, no, absolutely, man. But, and listen, I used to have a pedal board. I did, like, years ago. And I got rid of it. Like the actual, well, you know, I sold it. Because it got to a point where not every gig needed every single pedal that I used. There were gigs where I'd only need to use like 2 pedals, 3 pedals. And instead, you know, I'm like carting around this hulking flight case with, you know, all the pedals in there and only 2, you know, which have like 10 pedals and like only 2 of them are going to get used. And then I didn't want to take them apart and all that. And, you know, people say, oh, why don't you use a pedal board mini and all that? Yeah, but then, you know, there are gigs where I need to use everything. And I want to be putting them back and all that. So I figured, you know, the easiest way for me on a gig was literally to have all the pedals in a duffel bag. And yeah, does it require you setting up things on the gig? Sure, I mean, you got to do that anyway and packing it down. But it meant that I could choose what pedals I needed to use right there. And also it meant that I could put them in any order I wanted to as well. That was the thing. When I had it on the pedal board, I had everything Velcroed down, right? And also the thing was that I had those George L cable kits where you cut everything to the specific length, and so I had it set. And this was just an easier option for me. It also just meant I didn't need, like I said, I could have the stuff in a bag. It was easier to carry around. And then if I was going out on fly dates, you know, flying out or whatever, I could just choose what pedals I wanted to do and put it in my backpack, right? Because when I was touring, I used to take the flight case with me with the pedal board flight case. And it's just another extra thing to check in. And then airlines were charging for extra pieces, or even just some of them were charging for checking in bags. And so it was just another added expense. It was just another thing to just have to carry around. And I just made things easier. So yes, when you think about it, yeah, everything on an actual board, it's going to be easier, yeah. But here in my room right here, in my office, I have everything set up because, yeah, I'm at home, right? And there are gigs that I do when I play where I do take all the pedals, except for the loop pedal. Milan, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, so Leslie, in terms of the main pedals that I use, so it's going to be an octave, it's going to be an envelope. I've got this Aguilar TLC compressor. There's a TC electronic shaker pedal. I'll even have the phaser as well. The Polytune by TC. Reverb pedal I'll take. And then I use this Trickfish Trilobite preamp as well. That's a big part of the sound. Just because it's very flexible, and you can really sculpt things pretty nicely, right? So that, and also it's a good DI as well. So I'll use that. So yeah, I do need a bit, but I don't want to get a pedal. Again, I don't want to get a pedal board because it's just an extra thing to like cart around. And some of these venues that you play at, they don't have elevators. At least, you know, there's one place I play at that doesn't have an elevator, and so you have to take things up 2 flights of stairs. So there's that. So that's how it is. And then thinking about like, okay, yeah, using a multi-effects like you were mentioning, Robotitarian, the Boss MB90B, which looks great. I've checked it out. It looks really cool. But you know, I've got my sound, you know, the particular sound that this envelope pedal gives, and combined with this TC electronic shaker. there's a certain way that the envelope, the attack, hits. It's totally different. And I've got another envelope here, which is the MXR, which is definitely more of a traditional envelope. I'll turn off the reverb. Right? Where it's like an instant thing. The other one I use, which is a EBS envelope, has a gradual. And that's really cool for playing chords, but even when you're playing bass lines as well. So that's a whole thing, and I've heard the envelope sounds in a lot of these multi-effects pedals, and they don't have that kind of thing. And I know, and so I know Thundercat uses. He doesn't use an EBS. He uses a. I think he uses the Moog envelope filter. He uses. I think that's the one that he uses. I know he's also used. I think he's used a Qtron or Mutron in the past as well. Maybe back in the day, and also some sort of bass synth pedal, like when he was playing stuff with like Flying Lotus and all that. But yeah, uses a phaser as well. Yeah, super low rate. So be like that thing, and then uses the pitch shifter as well, so he gets the octave up. Does that kind of thing. But I like using the phaser at a faster rate. It gives the sound of like a like a Fender Rhodes with a phaser. And then pair it with the vibrato. Really nice, so yeah, so there are specific pedals I have in here that give me specific sounds that I'm really partial to and that are a big part of what I do. At the end of the day, I don't like to always just let the tools define who I am as an artist and as a musician, because at the end of the day, they're just tools. The music always comes from within you. It's your vision, but obviously, you're always going to have your favorite and your go-to tools that allow you to express what you're trying to do, especially with your sound. So yeah, I hope that's all helpful. Nice, yeah, Milan, you've got the EBS compressor. Yeah, that's a really good compressor. If I didn't have the Aguilar one, I would totally use the EBS one, because it's very high, and EBS make incredible stuff, really high quality pedals. My EBS pedals, I have 3 of them. I've got an octave pedal, the envelope, and the phaser pedal. I've had those for I mean, probably at least 12 years. They're really solid, really high quality. They sound great. Um, so I love them. That again, that's a big part of just the sounds I like to get. So yeah. Anyway, folks, that's it for today. I need to go have some lunch. I'm hungry. And then I've got a busy day as well, playing a gig later, and playing some straight ahead stuff. I'm gonna take the mode bass with me, which will be cool. It'll be its first gig, so I'm gonna I'm gonna use that, which will be fun. And so looking forward to that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. What's John Axe saying? You saw Thundercat's recent live performance and saw the little blue pedal, and it was like, I recognize it. Sure, I know, right? It's cool that he has the pedals like up on a little pedestal right here. Gets easy access to it. He's kind of got his thing there where he's playing, and they can just go like that. So yeah, but yeah. Jared, hey, nice to see you. Yeah, it has been a while. And obviously these are all recorded as well, so you can always like rewind to the beginning and watch the whole thing as well, right? And John, no, so the Lauryn Hill show, we've pushed that to a month later. There's just so much locally going on in town that where the organizers felt that it would make more sense to push it a month later, which would be really good. So that way we can always ensure that we can put on, top quality and play our absolute best, right? So those things, those are just things that sometimes you have to make those decisions for the best, to have the best outcome. Either you postpone a show or sometimes you might have to cancel something. But you always want to look at it that way, how it's going to benefit everyone involved, and also to make sure that, is everyone going to be able to do, play to their best, right? But no, the gig I'm playing tonight is just with a nice little, local jazz group, some young cats. And I'm just usually I would take the upright bass, but just the logistics of this place that we're playing in, it makes more sense and a little more easier with just the electric bass. So I'm going to play the mode bass. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah. But anyway, cats, Michael, thank you so much. Great to see you. Lizzie Wells, you say, if you have a friend that has a Sire 6-string, please try it for the Sire 10DX. Very nice. So yeah, I haven't tried a 6-string Sire, but that's how it is. But I'm sure they're really nice. Anyway, you guys take care. Great to see you, and I'll see you again soon. All right. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Links down in the description box. Wherever you are, be safe. Have a great rest of your week and weekend. And I'll see you again soon. Folks, see you again next time. Peace.